I'm Stad.
I'm Gibb.
I'm Connor.
I'm Bennett.
In today's episode, the questions are, who will win the Stanley Cup? Will Oklahoma win a 5th consecutive softball College World Series? And finally, what's the hardest thing to do in sports? This is Cafeteria Conversations.
Ring it.
Stad, you want to kick us off?
Dude, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like you're the most knowledgeable on hockey. Like, obviously, I have my opinions.
Well,
but
shout out my man Kyle Peters. He's helped me a lot in the last couple years get more knowledgeable about the sport. Like, I'm a huge Canes fan. I was a huge
Right.
Canes fan like in around COVID when they started. But then he's kind of helped me get more knowledgeable about the actual sport and all the other teams and what's kind of going on. So, just a little sad.
we
Rip the
can start
Canes.
with the Canes.
Rip the Canes. Okay, we lost again in the Eastern Conference Finals, but we won a game. So
We got
there's-
one.
Progress.
We got one.
It's all right.
But so basically, the storyline coming into this Stanley Cup final is, will Canada win a Stanley Cup? It has been a few decades. 1993 was the last time
Wow.
a Canadian.
What was the? Do you know
hockey
what the
team-
last team was?
The Montreal Canadiens in '93.
Okay.
Wow.
That's the last time a Canadian hockey team has won the Stanley Cup final.
And they're the Oilers' rivals, right?
Well, not really. The
It's like a hometown rivalry, I thought.
the Maple Leafs are
Okay,
big
okay.
rivals of the Canadiens.
got it.
But- So the Edmonton Oilers are the Canadian representation in this year's final.
And they're led by a Canadian too, which kind of dope.
They
Connor
are.
McDavid.
dope.
McJesus, his nickname.
Dude,
Yeah, where did
Nick
that nickname come from?
I don't know,
Just
but it
because-
fits with how well he's so. I mean, dude, he's so good. I don't watch
Yeah.
that much hockey, but I watched that. When the USA team played Canada
Yeah.
in the offseason. Yeah, that was.
He's so
unbelievable.
fast.
He is
Like, that's
so
his,
good.
like, he's
I've
quick.
watched McDavid play in person, and
Where?
At Carolina. in
Oh, okay,
Raleigh.
okay.
They were the Hurricanes were playing the Oilers. This was 2 years ago, regular season game.
Okay.
Like he skates like it's almost like 5 feet per second faster than anybody out there, and he can do it like while performing puck skill. Like it's incredible. Like
Wow.
he skates faster than anybody on the ice. He shoots in a millisecond, and he's got guys around him.
How do you
that
defend somebody like that?
You
though?
can't. You can't.
You can't. Man.
But
And
like,
why is
and can you
McJesus?
not just like stand in front of him because he's moving so
Can
fast,
you
or is
just
he going to
stand
go
in
around
front of
him?
him?
No,
Well, I'm just
no, no.
saying, like, I don't know. He's
is
just going
not
to run through you.
That's the thing. He just goes around you. He's moving so fast. You're like, there's no way he's going to maneuver around these 3 defenders, and he does. It's in the back of the net, and you're like, what just happened?
That's crazy.
So is that the reason the Oilers are having success? Or?
It's part of it. So Leon Draisaitl actually has more goals than him
Okay.
this year and he's in the MVP talks, and that's why the Oilers are so good. They have the best player in hockey, but they also have guys around him that he makes the team so much better, and they're just. I mean, McDavid, like he's not just a scorer, right? Like you have like in basketball,
Right.
or
Yeah, I mean, he
in
had
some,
3
like-
goals and 7 assists in the
Right.
series against the
10
Stars.
points?
So.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
10
10
points,
points by
right?
himself.
He'll be moving as fast as he can down the edge of the ice, and Draisaitl comes just right behind. They always know where they're going to be. It's like a
Flow, creativity.
yeah. There you go. It's like
Love that movie.
it's like a well choreographed dance, and they always figure out a way to put it in the back of the net. Like,
Well,
they-
a little bit of history. This was the matchup last year, so this is a run back, and Panthers won it 4-3 at home, which I watched the highlights because I did not watch it last year. But crazy game with the Oilers. Wow, making some pretty like costly mistakes, like fast
Yeah.
break mistakes, and so. I mean, the last time the Oilers won it was the 89-90 season, and they were there obviously last year. But I mean, they did go down 0-3 in the series, and then had some monster wins to force a Game 7.
so
That's crazy.
it's 2 polar opposite styles in this cup. One plays a little bit slower, one plays super fast. Like Florida, they're going to get their goals. They're going to play how they want to play. They've got really good defense. They've got the best goaltender in hockey, in my opinion.
So do you think they're going to be able to keep up with the Oilers' pace?
Well, that's the thing. Like if Edmonton gets out to a 2-0, 3-0 lead like they
Yeah.
did against Dallas, I mean, I don't think Florida has the firepower to get back within that.
It's just exciting hockey because a lot of the narrative around the Canes is that it's super boring and super slow defensive hockey. And then, like, I
Right.
was watching the recap of last year's Cup. I was like, man, this is thrilling. Like,
Well,
big
yeah.
plays, big mistakes. But, like, I feel like the Canes have small mistakes and let off just
Well-
too many small mistakes sometimes.
And that's the criticism about Brindamore, right? Like everybody wants that more exciting
Sure.
hockey, but Brindamore has proven his system works to a point, but he hasn't won the big one yet. So that's why everybody's like, they're coming for his job. And like, dude, he's won a playoff series for 7 straight years.
Long
And like
time, yeah.
his overall record is incredible.
Yeah, it's
But
one of
that's
those
now
things you
the-
got to get to the place where it's like, can we really do better?
Right.
Yeah.
It does seem that system of like dump and chase and
I don't think
super,
it's
like,
a personnel thing either. Like, I really do think it's possibly a style thing.
I mean, we tried to spend money like we never had with Mikko Rantanen this year, trying to get him. And like, you should have seen Twitter. I mean, everybody was blowing. Oh my God, we have one of the best players in hockey, and that lasted 3.5 weeks because we didn't want to pay him what he wanted, and so we shipped him off to Dallas and got some more younger pieces, and now we're kind of just in limbo.
All right, so let's do our picks for the series.
I've got Edmonton in 6.
I'll match that.
Edmonton 6. I'm gonna go Panthers in 7 again.
Wow.
Okay.
No, I'm definitely going with Edmonton in 6. I think they shoot better. They have less penalty minutes and they take more shots. I think all the numbers.
If
Statistician over
I
there.
love that.
Come on, Bennett.
I love that. If Edmonton can get to Bobrovsky early in games and be, like I said, 1-0, 2-0 up going into the first intermission, I think Edmonton has what they need to beat Florida.
I just think the momentum's on Florida's side to run it back.
Why not on the Oilers side?
I mean, yeah, the Oilers have been there. They want it more than ever. But I think Florida, it's Florida, man.
You don't
Florida, man. No? Okay. That was a bad joke. Anyway, that did not land. Anyway, you know what? Okay.
Wow,
we don't
that
have to
was-
talk about
that was
this
rough.
anymore.
That's a good transition point.
Let's get out of there.
So our next what's cooking topic is the college softball World Series. So we have, which been super exciting already. We've got Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, Florida, Tennessee, UCLA, Texas. We've seen the fastest pitch ever recorded. We've seen Ole Miss as a team that's never made it, who's here now. We saw 2 twins for Oregon play with each other. It's been super exciting so far. We have Texas won today against Tennessee, so Texas is in the national championship, and Oklahoma and Texas Tech are playing tonight, and Oklahoma has to beat Texas Tech twice to go and try to win their 5th consecutive, which is pretty unbelievable. I mean, me and Bennett talked about this the other night. I feel like if Oklahoma, I mean, you could argue it now, but if they win 5 consecutive national champions, that's probably the best college team franchise maybe ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
In all
100%.
sports.
I mean, there's
sure.
a 71-0 win streak during that stretch.
Yeah, which got broken, mid-season 2024.
Even
But
though
71 wins.
even though the streak was broken, I mean, what was it, like only 16 losses in around 500 games or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on its own is crazy. Even if
And they have such young talent, too. Like, I was watching the Oregon-Oklahoma game last night, and their third baseman had, like, one of the quickest transitions I've ever seen on a diamond to, like, from third to first. And I was like, and she's a freshman. And I was like, what is happening?
Unbelievable. So, I mean, we've seen Carly Pickens with Tennessee. I mean, she's throwing 77 to 79, which equates to like 110 in baseball.
Yeah.
Like she's throwing absolute Ched. It's been awesome. Who do we think who's our picks for this? I mean, I think I already know y'all's. So
I watched Texas Tech, was it last night or 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago.
And they were really good. Like, about as good as you would expect a women's college World Series team to be. But it's like, I just feel like even though Oklahoma has to beat Texas Tech twice, the experience will win out in that first game. And then Texas Tech will experience so much pressure in that second game because they'll be like, man, we couldn't get it done the first time. What's going to happen now? In my opinion, I think Oklahoma wins both, and then they'll beat Texas in the final.
wow.
I just think they have 4 straight championships. That's an insane amount of experience to where the national championship or elimination games like this, they feel like nothing. To most of the roster.
I mean, like Connor brought up a point, they are young. So
That's true.
This is their first year in the SEC, and they lost more games than they have in the last 2 prior seasons.
That's fair. Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I mean, you get a higher level of softball, you're going to lose more games. I don't think like Will said, it affects their confidence in the slightest. Like, you have a coach who's one of the most decorated coaches in all of NCAA sports, and then you say, yeah, we're young, but we've experienced this. Even though you're young, you still probably have been trained by somebody who's won a ring, or you're on a team with people who've won a ring, and they can walk you through it. So I even think, like Will said, young talent, or Gibbs said, young talent. I think Oklahoma's going to win it.
I don't know if that'll be enough though. I mean, I'm not super knowledgeable at softball, but I don't think necessarily guidance on its own will take Oklahoma to the championship.
Yeah, I'm taking Texas Tech. I don't want to butcher their star pitcher's name, and now she hits for Texas Tech. She's like the highest paid softball player in college softball right now
Good
from
for
Texas Tech. Texas Tech has like top 3 in money for softball and NIL. I think she's a stud. She came from Stanford last year as a true freshman. I mean, I think she's going to go out and shove game 1, maybe even hit a bomb, and it'll be over. Yeah, I mean, it's over. I think she is so dominant and so good. And Texas Tech's hot right now. I mean, they weren't really. I mean, everybody knew what team that girl was on. And in softball, we see it. I mean, we saw it with Jordy Nelson at Nebraska, right? I mean, she was at Oklahoma, won a national championship at Oklahoma, and goes home to be at Nebraska and takes Nebraska all the way to a super regional, I think, or a regional. So I mean, that has never been done. So I mean, in softball, I think is a game where if you have a stud pitcher, and I mean, obviously, you need a lineup, but at the same time, if you have a stud pitcher, you can win a lot of games. Yeah. I mean, I've watched a lot of softball in my life with my sister, and we had a lot of tournaments in California, Kansas City, where our one pitcher who played at UNCW for 3 years and closed out her career at Alabama this year. I mean, she threw every game. You can just throw them over and over and over again.
So here's my question to you: is if Oklahoma wins that first game, do you still think Texas Tech wins the second?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think it'll go 2 games.
I think it will. I think Oklahoma is going to win tonight, and then Texas will
now,
beat them tomorrow.
I think Texas Tech is I have them favored high right now to win. Now, if they do lose that first game, it gets a lot smaller. It's like neck and neck.
Sure.
But
because anything happens in that game 7 type of environment where both teams are
exactly.
Oklahoma
City, Oklahoma. It's probably basically a home game for them. So I mean,
yeah,
it'll be. Ultimately, it's going to be a fun championship to watch either way because you're going to have Texas Tech, Texas, or Texas and Oklahoma.
Sure.
So,
all old members of the Big 12.
Exactly. Nobody. Well, where's Texas Tech now?
Well, old members of the Big 12. Like Texas Tech is.
Oh, I guess because it's not the Big 12 anymore. It's like what the Big.
No, it's still the Big 12.
Are there still 12 teams in it?
Texas Tech.
No, there's more.
Well, I mean Big
less.
12, but I mean the conference is still named the Big 12.
Right.
But like Oklahoma and Texas were in the Big 12, and now they're in the SEC.
Now they are.
So it's still familiar.
For sure.
They're just
For
conference split now.
All right. Well, that's good. What's cooking segment? Let's go into snack of the day, gentlemen. We started strong with Gushers, but today we have fruit by the foot.
Dude, I'm so excited. It's a fruit roll up.
It's
No.
been a minute.
Time out.
What,
Fruit
Paul?
roll-up.
No, whoa. Fruit roll-up is different.
Fruit
It is?
roll up
Yes.
is the one that comes out in like a sheet.
Is a
and
rectangle.
I know, but this is
Had
a
the
fruit
tat-
roll. It's a
had-
fruit
been thinking
roll.
all
had the
week that these-
tattoos.
Had the
that you could
tattoos
put-
on them, yeah.
It's a
This
fruit
is a
roll-up.
fruit by the foot.
This is a fruit by the foot.
Yeah,
It's a
but
foot
what did you
long.
call this when somebody handed it to you? Would you?
Fruit roll-up, yes. I
Yeah,
called it a
it's
fruit
like,
roll-up.
hey, mom, would you
I want
call it
fruit
fruit by the
roll-ups.
foot? Like, I mean, you didn't say that, did you?
Well, that's fair. That's a fair.
dang,
point.
I got a blue
I probably
one.
did call
That's
them
sick.
both that.
I didn't realize
You
they
got a
came
blue,
in
I got a
different.
red.
I didn't realize they came in different colors.
You got a blue one too, Stab.
I'm be snacking on this for like the rest of the episode.
Sure.
I don't want to chew.
Yeah, I know. It's like get out of the chewing sounds. I'm so excited.
It's so good.
Dang, it's stuck to the paper.
Very good. Better than last week for sure.
Really?
Better than Gushers for sure.
They're actually very similar flavor, like to the red Gushers.
Mmm.
Golly.
Wow, that actually is really good. I'm very excited
So
about
excited.
it.
I haven't had one of these since like youth soccer.
You suck. Well, how does the blue one taste? 'Cause Gib and I have red
It's
ones.
blue
so
raspberry, yeah? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really good.
it's good.
It's really good. I'm a big blue raspberry guy,
Hold on.
so.
Tear me off a piece of your red, and I'll tear you off a piece of the blue. Because the biggest test for some of these fruit snacks is if they taste different.
Valid. You go.
You
All right, hang on a minute. Yeah, hang on. Let me.
I'm getting there.
This is
Hold
about
on.
to be an
Give me a
epic
second.
fail.
This is gonna go into our blooper reel right here.
Got the left-handed catch.
Okay, you throw it. I'm
We're
gonna
throwing
throw
at the same time.
No.
Yes,
Oh,
come on,
no.
let's
Oh
make
my
this more
God.
fun.
One,
Ready?
two, four.
3, 2, 1.
I got
it
mine,
landed
I
on the
got
desk.
mine.
Yes. Okay. Cool. It landed on
Oh,
the desk.
dude,
the
the
desk
blue
saved
one
me.
is gas.
See, they taste different.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mhm.
That's a big difference too.
Blue
The
one's
blue
better
one's
than
really
red.
good.
Blue one's better than
Yeah.
red.
Okay. So blue one's better flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Let's rate the. We're doing tradability. Tradability. Okay.
Tradability's high.
High.
Alright,
Very high.
Connor, you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. Let's go rate it.
But can I say this? I would
Oh.
not want to trade this.
100%.
Oh.
No, this is something you would trade for.
This is like a Nico
Sure,
move.
sure.
Like if
Ooh,
you trade this,
yeah.
like trading Luca. You know, you're losing either way.
That's a good comp.
You see, he's already lost 20 to 30 pounds in the offseason. Lakers win a NBA championship again. All right. Rate
Eating all them LA salads.
Do you want to rate blue and red differently or all together?
Let's rate it together.
Together?
Yeah, as a snack.
Kick us off, Bennett.
I would say 8, but I think red brings it down to 7.5.
Oh man, it's gonna be above an 8 from 8-1.
Yeah, I mean, because of I was a solid 8, but because of blue, I'm probably putting her 8.5.
Ooh,
8.5.
big score. Big
It's
score.
good, man. It's good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm trying to like
I agree.
figure out in my mind like what is the perfect snack. Like that's gonna be a 9.5.
Little Bites. Little Bites is a 10 out of 10.
The
Every
cheese-
day
is
of the
that the
week.
cheese
Little
seeds?
Bites is top tier every day of the week. Every flavor, it slaps no matter morning, afternoon, midnight snack. Little Bites is the go-to.
Okay.
I mean, but like that was really good, and like it stains your teeth. It's a fun sort of like candy snack. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna trade it. Somebody's got to bring something to the table. Really high standards. I think an 8.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this little break right there leads us into our segment for today. So we're going to be talking about the hardest thing in each sport, and we have 10 total sports. We have baseball, football, soccer, tennis, hockey, golf, basketball, track, softball, and volleyball, and then we're going to do what's the hardest sport overall. So I'm going to kick it to Bennett for what we think the hardest thing to do in baseball is.
I got to go pitching a no-hitter.
Oh,
That's up there. I mean,
I didn't
Would you
Not-
want to just say perfect game?
Sure, that works too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not think of that. Wow, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
and near
it's so
impossible. So hard
Yeah.
to do.
Crazy that Yankees guy did it hungover.
That is a
That's
crazy
awesome.
story.
Guy?
Yeah, he was like
Wells.
tripping.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like, dude came onto the mound
Had
in
to
true
s-
Babe
yeah.
Ruth fashion, was drunk and, waking up from a hangover.
He tells
and
a
then
story.
threw a perfect game.
Yeah, he had to stay away from the manager because he smelled like beer.
Yeah, he tells a story. One of his
wild.
teammates came in. He goes, "Dude, you reek! Like,
Yeah.
do not go by Joe."
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a good one. That's a good.
I don't
one.
know if it may be. I think there's something harder, but
Okay.
I mean, that was mine. So I'm just gonna go with hitting 2 grand slams in the same inning.
that doesn't have to do with the difficulty because it's the same as hitting a home run. Yes,
Okay, well then I'll just go hitting a home run.
I think hitting a home run.
No, I think you could argue grand slam because there's more pressure on it to hit a home run there.
That's fair.
Not necessarily to get the ball in play. I would say.
I guess that answer was more rarest. So I'll just go. I'll come back and say home run.
Yeah.
Hitting a home run
I think that's
off a
up
major
there.
league fastball.
Yeah.
Connor?
I think stealing home is the hardest thing to do in baseball. I think it requires an insane amount of finesse, and obviously it's a very situational thing.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna steal home and succeed at doing it, yeah, it's pretty difficult. That takes some
I mean,
pure talent.
I will say it's not because when you steal home, it's either picking up on tendencies or is a situation in the game, right? You know,
Right.
like a squeeze bunt, technically not a steal home, but that's the type of situation. Or you could do like every time, no matter what the situation is, the catcher, lobs it back to the pitcher. The catcher and the pitcher turn around. Like there's windows in their tendencies that allow guys to steal home.
I think, but that's part of what makes it difficult. Is one, the athlete, the player has to be able to pick up on that stuff and time it perfectly. And yes, it's a very situational thing.
Yeah.
But so is hitting a home run. So is throwing a no hitter or a perfect game.
But in college, like in upper levels of baseball, those things, tendencies, you pay attention to those things everywhere. Like
Right.
tipping pitches, like it becomes a part of the game. So I think when you notice, like even stealing second or third, and Stag can attest to this too. Like when we notice, I don't know if you've ever done this, but you have a UCLA count. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I
So
mean we called
it's
it
like-
something different, but yes.
Right. So that's like a time, right? So if the pitcher leaves, when a pitcher comes set, I'm going to go UCLA, and which letter they leave on. If they leave on UC consistently, then I can steal on that, right? And so we pick up tendencies there. Or it's like, I was talking with.
And wait, when a pitcher leaves, that means when his foot comes up and
Right.
starts
When
going
he starts
forward.
his motion to the plate.
when he
Okay.
starts his motion to the plate. And so then.
But wait, just to clarify, that means when his foot comes up, not when
Correct.
comes set.
Well, because if anything else would
yeah, it's
happen,
when
a
he's
ball.
already set. That's when you start the count. And then when he
Yeah.
starts moving towards the plate, that's when he
Okay.
goes.
Okay.
Then you have tendencies where it's like some pitchers, like when you have fastball, like elbow might be down. Like if they're in this in the motion, elbow might be down. Slider, elbow might be out. Like tendencies, and when you play higher levels of baseball, college baseball, elite showcase baseball or professional baseball for sure, like you pick up on those things. So, I mean, it kind of becomes part of the game.
And you've got people that are, like you said, in the higher levels that are literally looking for that
just
the
watching.
entire game.
Yeah.
Like that was one of my jobs as like a pinch runner my freshman year. Like I'm looking at the catcher, I'm looking at the pop time, I'm looking at the pitcher's time to first, I'm looking if, like Gibbs said, what count he is, like what his timing, like if he does anything funky when he picks off. Like some lefties have 2 different pickoff moves. Like you've got guys looking at that for 8.5 innings of baseball.
Right.
And it's when it comes to be the most important time of the game, then you've got all that information.
Right.
All right, what do you say, Gibbs?
Yeah.
So if we're going just like broad, I mean, I have hitting 300 plus in the MLB. I think that's pretty incredibly hard. If I had to go uber specific, I'm going to go hitting Mariano Rivera's cutter. I think he's the greatest closer ever. It's not even close. Numbers, opinions, wins. He's the best.
Type of wins, too. Like
I'm a Red
postseason
Sox
wins.
fan, so I mean, as you can tell by the jersey, so it doesn't even pay me to say it because it's so obvious. But hitting that guy's cutter, broke so many bats, won so many games. It's impossible to hit. It's not like, I see a lot of cutters now that are like slider spin. Like his was not a slider spin. Like it was a true cutter. He had like a gap in between here and where it like when the ball was in his fingers. Like I think hitting that would be
so. For
hard.
reference, a cut fastball or a cutter is from a right-hander. It's going to be moving this way.
Right. So like a slice.
But if you're left,
but it's not a slider. Like
Right,
it's not like
slider.
it's not like moving harshly.
Right.
Like a two seam.
No, so like a slice. Like like for
It
me,
would go
like, it'd be a
into you.
serve slice. Yeah,
it would go into you.
So a body. Okay, a body slice. Sure.
Yeah, it
Okay.
would go into
I
a
can,
lefty.
I can equate to what it would be on a tennis court.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a lot. Like it's just because a slider is like horizontal movement. A cutter just two seam runs that way.
Yeah, I would call a lefty slider serve like the same thing. Like it's still a slice serve, but it slides. Like I can
Okay.
So
And it's harder than a slider. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
break
moving
as
faster.
much, but it's harder. It's a
Yeah.
variation of a fastball.
So we all have different answers on that. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. All right. So football. I'll let Connor kick us off on this one.
DB.
Playing DB.
Playing DB, yes, it can be argued. I think that quarterback is the most important position. I don't think it's harder than guarding somebody play in, play out, and starting backwards, and not being able to go step for step with them, possibly.
I'll go to the Bills fan.
Running a fake punt.
Wow.
Dude, we talked about this the other day when you were in here. His point is that the punter has to throw the ball.
You know how hard that is for a punter?
To throw a football.
I mean,
Dude's job is to play football.
Not that hard. He's got to throw a 15-yard out.
And it's wide open.
It's
There's
wide nobody
open.
guarding him.
No, that's just a joke. Let's go with
stick to your
No,
guns.
no,
That's
that's
it.
it.
Stick
That's
with
it.
it.
That's
Take
it.
me,
Stick
Stat.
with it.
What's the hardest
it.
thing to do in football?
Okay, so I have 2 answers, but I'm going to decide at the end.
I have the same.
Physically challenging, defensive back.
Yeah.
I agree.
The backwards running, the strength you have to have, the vertical leap you have to have,
Change of motion.
and it's like the mental, like all the studying you have to do on the guy you're guarding.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a quirkier answer, kicking a 60-yard plus field goal.
I agree. I mean,
It's
like
a close
very-
second to be. Like
yeah.
obviously, my answer, like I said, I'm going to decide defensive back. Like it is the hardest, in my opinion, hardest, most physically challenging position in football. But I think just kicking a 60+ yard field goal is just that
much harder.
No, that close. It's that close.
Okay.
But DB is my answer.
I think it's quarterback. I think it's everything from like when you listen. I don't know if any of y'all have watched John Gruden's kind of quarterback talk
yeah.
with all the draftees.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
even
yeah.
Feeling nice.
listening to those plays,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
calling
True.
out that
True.
play in the huddle when you have. I mean, how many people are in an NFL stadium?
Tens of thousands.
Depends,
I mean,
depends who's playing, because
near-
the Panthers, maybe 100.
Yeah, but near 100, near 100,000.
Oh,
And to
is our
call
year.
out that play under that pressure and
Sure.
read a defense on the fly, audible it if you need to. I mean, reading an NFL, it's why we see so many college quarterbacks not succeed because they can't read an NFL defense.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you have to be locked in every single play. And I think it's why I think Tom Brady's the GOAT, right? He never really had the best receivers. Yeah, he had Randy Moss for a couple years, and he had Gronk.
towards
but
the end of Randy
Gronk was
Moss.
tight end.
right? But but Gronk's unbelievable.
Gronk's the best tight end.
But like,
ever
I
to
mean, you
play.
had
I mean,
Amendola, Julian Edelman. Like, if Julian Edelman plays his
Chris
career,
Hogan.
if Julian Edelman plays for the Titans for 14 years, we don't even know who that guy is. But like, I mean, Julian Edelman's a great receiver, but with Tom Brady's ability to read defenses, and I mean, I think it's so hard. But we will go next to y'all's sport.
That's a really good justification, by the way.
I'll go back to soccer, or we'll go to soccer, but I'll go back to Stad. What is the hardest thing to do in soccer?
A free kick from probably 20, 25 yards out over a wall with a goaltender that's ready. I would say a long free kick.
Okay.
Scoring a long free kick.
I would say, and I mean, I just picked this up from watching the World Cup match against France and Argentina. That game was amazing to me.
Was a great game.
It's my favorite sports game I've ever watched, and I hate soccer. It's
Such a
like
good
one of my
game.
least favorite sports, but I've never watched a game better than that.
Dang.
But
All right.
I think being a goalie on what is it, the penalty shots, where it's literally just the
saving a
yeah,
PK.
PK, I think that's incredibly difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
how far are they?
I think it's 10 feet, 10, 15 feet.
No,
That's a
No.
little bit more than
yards,
that.
maybe.
Yeah, no,
Look
10
that up.
meters.
10,
Look that
15.
up, Ben. Yeah.
I mean, I'll look it up. I got
10
it. We all got
feet,
a computer.
That's really short.
All right. This is 10-foot putt. Think about a 10-foot putt in golf.
Yeah, there's
That's-
no way
there's
there's
no
that.
way.
36 feet.
36
Oh,
feet.
okay.
12
10
yards.
12 yards.
12 yards.
Okay, sorry. 12 yards. Okay.
Like that's
Te-
incredibly. That's so
Yeah,
hard. You're
sure.
12 yards away.
It's
The
a guess. It's
How
a guess.
wide is the goal? How wide is the goal? Probably what, 40? No.
No.
Probably what, 20 feet? 20 feet?
No, I think it's.
We
I think
are
a
horrible at
goal. A
guessing
goal
distances.
is 10
8 yards.
Okay,
8 yards
8
wide.
yards.
8 yards,
No,
so
it is
20,
not.
24 feet.
24
so
feet.
it's 20 feet. Yeah, basically. I mean, I was close. So, my second
it?
guess.
No.
It's 8 feet tall. That's what it
8
says.
feet tall.
Regulation, like in-
Sorry, this story just popped into
Oh
my
my
mind.
God, I know exactly where you're
We
going.
went to go
Tell
play.
it quick, but
okay,
go.
yeah, this is a quick interjection. We played Noose Christian, again, small private school soccer, and we played at this remote field in the middle of nowhere. And our coach, who played professional soccer, won a championship. I don't remember the league he played a part, but he was the backup goalkeeper, best goalkeeper I've ever met. And he knows obviously the specs of a goal. And he runs out there and he's like, "These goals are not regulation." He's touching the crossbar with his hand, with his feet
He's
on
not
the
a tall
ground.
human being.
And-
He is not. He is probably 5'8".
The AD of Noose Christian
Generous.
walks out there and goes, we can't move it. This is where the game's happening." And he's screaming, "I've never been able to touch a crossbar from the ground in my life.
It was
These
hilarious.
are not regulation."
Like, we're warming
and
up
We're
while
warming
this
up
is-
playing,
yeah.
and we're all dying of laughter. I don't remember if we won or lost that game.
Lost.
But, okay. Regardless, it was the
'cause of the
funniest
goals.
thing.
The
It was, it was the
No.
funniest thing ever.
No, we got.
There were no
we got
lines on
crushed.
that field, too. We almost won, but somebody... Okay,
Different game. We got crushed that game.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay,
He's saying
somebody
we're getting
walked out of
crushed,
the
you're
box.
saying we almost won.
Never mind. Okay. Anyway, that's my interjection about the crossbar. Funny story.
Okay, Bennett, what's the hardest thing?
I it's not a specific type of play. I think just being a goalie in general, because you're not. I mean, obviously you have to save amazing shots, but you're also like the captain of your team from the very back. And I think that's extremely difficult to do
Okay.
because you have to have that presence.
We just said it's what, eight yards wide
Yes.
for a human being to cover 8 yards of ground from
Yeah.
36 feet or 30. Yep, 36 feet.
Yes.
Yeah, we said it was 12
30.
yards. Yeah. Okay.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Right, and then you have someone like Messi or Ronaldo kicking a free kick, and then you have to go touch the top corner from I don't know 4 or 5 yards away.
Right.
And then like the amount of athleticism that it requires, and the amount of like also putting your body on the line. Like the biggest save in the World Cup was their goalie on the fast break stuck his leg out, and
That
it
was
just
a crazy
happened to
save.
hit his leg, and
Yeah.
it missed. But like he was putting his body on the line for that
Right.
save and for a World Cup. And I just think it's one. I think it can arguably be the hardest thing in all sports.
So being a goalie in soccer, that's yours too.
Yes, oh, most definitely.
All right. Let's go to tennis.
Whoop, whoop.
We'll go straight to Connor here. Connor, what's the
I have
hardest
a really interesting take on this because I was thinking about it last night. There's a lot of like parts of the game that are really difficult, but I think the learning curve is the hardest part about tennis.
Okay.
Like because I think we can talk about pickleball very briefly, but I can't stand pickleball. Pickleball is so loved and enjoyed because it's easy and you can learn it in one afternoon. Nobody can walk on a tennis court and be good at tennis in one afternoon.
I mean, I don't think somebody can walk on a pickleball court and be good in one afternoon.
I disagree with that statement. I think you can walk out and have one
well,
lesson.
yeah,
in
but
an afternoon.
I'm a college athlete.
But
If we're
you're-
talking an average
But you're
Joe,
a person. You're a person, and I think an average Joe can learn the rules of the game and be good enough to compete in a 3-5 league, which is like the medium, like
No, it's
middle of the pack. I think an average Joe can do that tomorrow.
okay.
And I think if you want to do research on this and people are looking to start tennis, go to Baseline Conversations. He's a guy who played DB at Arizona football. And he's documented his journey of learning how to play tennis. And he says it's one of the hardest things he's ever done.
He's been doing it for about a year, right?
I think
little
2.
over. Wow, okay.
He's been doing it a long time, and he's gotten a lot better. And it's really cool to watch. But yeah, you should go look up Baseline Conversations because he gives a really personal insight into his learning process.
I'm just over here filing cabinet brain, thinking about all the people that I could send to you that would still stink at pickleball after one afternoon.
Yeah, I mean,
Who you got? Give me one.
my mom.
No, I'm not going to.
I think
goodness.
I mean, that she's not ashamed of that, bro. Like, if I take a person who is not an athlete, they're not going to be good at that sport in one afternoon. Like, it's not even close.
One
Like,
afternoon is
one
no,
afternoon.
no.
I mean, what distinguishes an afternoon?
They'll be able to
1
hit the-
o'clock to 5.
They'll
yeah,
be able to
that's
hit
4
the-
hours.
4
4
hours.
hours is a long time.
4 hours is a long
4
time.
hours does not help a NARP, a non-athletic regular person, learn how to play pickleball. Like,
Yes,
I
it
agree.
does because
I'm
it
here.
requires zero athleticism.
does.
It requires
But-
zero.
Yes,
zero.
he's not
Stat,
wrong about that.
Zero.
if my mom,
to be average.
if
to
my
be middle.
Okay, well, I've played pickleball with my mom many times. I'm not hating on my mom, but at the same time, like,
You sorta are.
She would sit here and tell you if you played 1-on-1 with my mom and you hit it from side to side. She would struggle with that.
Right,
And so
but
I think
you're
if we took an
telling-
average player out there and he couldn't go into a medium league the next day. Like if I took an average,
I disagree.
freaking okay, well then we agree to disagree because
There are quite
you
a
need to
few
walk
people.
around and go see more average people that wouldn't be good
Trying
at that,
to
bro.
play pickleball.
Like if we're talking about high school kids who generally might be a decent athletes still, like that's fine. But if we're taking middle-aged 40 to 50-year-old people, they're not going to be good at it.
They're still
going
gonna
to
be missing the wiffle
reactions
ball.
are slower. They're slower
an
in
hour.
general.
Are you
like-
talking specifically about like singles pickleball or like actual pickleball with two people?
So yeah,
covering
pickleball
the
Either
started
or.
as doubles, and a
Yeah.
lot of it is once you understand the strategy, it becomes a lot easier. Now executing on the finite details, yeah, it takes a little bit of finesse that will take time, but to be able to play the game and understand it at an average level, anybody can do it.
This is going to turn into another piece of content because we've got to go out and find somebody.
we can. I mean, let's go into like a McDonald's and a Subway and take their working staff and be like, let's go play pickleball and see if you can play in it, and then sign them up for a medium league tournament the next day, and let's see how they do. Let's take some average people.
They're going to get walloped.
Let's go to like LabCorp and take a guy from there. Like let's.
Why are you hating on a LabCorp?
I'm not hating on it, but like
It's not
let's
hating,
expand the
it's
average.
just-
Let's
I
go
bet there's
fast
some
food
athletic
worker. Let's go
people-
corporate worker. Let's go to like a farm and get a farmer and see if they can learn pickleball in an hour. Like yeah, let's figure it out. Let's throw them in a
can
tournament.
make
All
our
right,
own
take
league.
me to the next sport.
Whoa! That was only
this.
my take. My take was the learning curve.
Yeah, we
All
haven't
right,
done
Bennett,
tennis
what is
Oh
it?
my gosh, I hate this sport already. Go, Bennett.
left-handed kick serve.
'Kay.
I think a normal kick serve on its
hitting
what?
it or
yeah,
returning it?
Sorry, returning it.
Returning.
I think a normal kick serve from a right-handed player is difficult on its own, but especially if you're a right player returning the ball, a left-handed kick serve is especially hard.
This couch is getting fired up about some tennis. I'll just say returning a serve, sure.
I'm just gonna say the slam dunk, the little athletic thing where you slam it down.
Yeah, we talked
Tide.
about what
In
the
the
slam
air.
dunk
Next
was the
sport,
other
I'm
day.
done with tennis. We're
We got
going.
heated about pickleball, which I don't even
Next
care about.
sport. Next sport. Judge,
Wow.
jury. Over. Done. Tennis is over. Okay, let's go to hockey. I'll avoid Connor. Let's go to stat. Wow. Connor, you'll be last.
Wow. Hockey, saving. So it's a goaltender saving a deflected shot. So like you have to save a slap shot with somebody standing in front of you.
Right,
Like
yeah.
saving it's coming at 88, 90 miles per
And
hour
your visual
from the
is
point.
obstructed.
Yeah.
And your
you
visual is
can't-
obstructed, and you have no clue where it's gonna.
Are
gonna
all
be
of us goalie?
deflected.
No, I
No,
actually
I'm
said
not.
fast break defense. I think being
Oh,
guarding
that's right.
guarding
Skating
McJesus,
backwards.
skating backwards, and trying to stop McJesus before you just run into the goalie or run out of ice is probably one of the most
That's-
skating backwards is hard for anybody to do.
A lot of comments from Connor about playing sports backwards. Tough thing. We need to test that. You DB. You said the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, yeah.
I got to go with defending the power play just because it requires so much consistency
Snaps to
by
that.
the
That's a great shout.
defenders because they can't make a
What is
mistake.
this? What is this? A poetry thing? What are we talking about? over here?
Slam poetry night?
we host of slam poetry?
Slaps or snaps, guys. Snap. Like
Wow.
cafeteria conversation talking about sports. Let's get some snaps going. Let's get some snaps.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Golf. Bennett.
Like
Tee-shot.
a downward. No, okay, shut up.
Hey, at least I can hit it good sometimes. All right, let it go.
Oh, that
A
was
downward
low.
sloping mid-range chip. So it's like on a hill. You kind of
a chip shot running away.
Yeah,
greens
yeah.
running away. Yeah, sure.
Wait, no, like what you're standing on is down. Like you're on a downhill.
So it's like down. It's sloping down too, and you kind of have
Green
to,
side. Is that what you're
Yes,
talking about? Green
yes,
side.
yes.
That's pretty difficult. I'm gonna say a long bunker shot.
Yeah, 60, 70-yard bunker shot.
Yeah.
That's me.
right. We talked about that. Yeah, Bryson shot at Pinehurst to
The
win the US
distance
Open.
control on that, like, because you could hit a bunker shot and you could be long of the green and it would be a fine shot. But
Yeah.
the fact that he was almost pin high, incredible shot.
And especially with the fact that, like, when we were talking about PGA courses and like how fast those greens roll,
Yeah.
and to get them
Yeah.
to stop close, like it's incredibly hard. But Connor,
I'm gonna say short-sided flop shot.
flap shot, love that.
Like the amount of
I love a
hands
flop
and
shot.
skills. Like obviously we've seen Tiger do it several times.
oh my
and to
gosh,
be,
that
like,
shot at
insane.
Jack Nicklaus's course on what was it, 16?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Right,
that
like,
is
that's
probably
one of the most
one of the best
impressive-
shots ever.
Right,
Yeah.
like
it might
one of the
go
most
in. It
impressive.
might go
like-
in. It is in.
yeah,
Yeah, like
Unbelievable.
crazy skills and touch under the amount of pressure that you would be at in that kind of situation. Because I think a lot of the golf is the situational ship.
I agree.
Because like I mean, we saw Rory choke the U.S. Open and then finally get it done at the
Right.
Masters. But like,
Even when you listen to Phil on like YouTube break down each shot, I mean situations. I mean he's talking about everything from where how the grass, what type of grass it is, to what type of green he's landing on, with
What time of
wind,
day it is.
how much precipitation. Like I mean it's unbelievable. But next sport, let's go basketball. This is an interesting sport to talk about because I mean it's pretty broad and I feel like it's pretty, I mean, individualized to like who the player is. So I'll take it to Connor. Who you want?
contested dunk.
Contested dunk. Okay, Bennett.
It's like not foul or something.
No,
just-
I'm
just
saying like
any-
the dunk, like to go
Like
over,
finishing it.
to
Oh,
go
okay, okay.
over a 7-foot man
Yeah.
and to throw it into a rim as hard as you possibly can.
Okay.
I agree. I think it's super tough.
Watching Shaq shoot a free throw.
That was awesome.
Pretty good. You've been waiting on that, haven't you?
Great.
You've been waiting on that.
That is
All right, let's go,
awesome.
Stad. What do you have?
Oh my goodness.
Tough follow.
Yeah, really.
Should have had you go last.
Contested 3-pointer, like a long contested 3-pointer.
Curry
like somebody's
range or
right in
just a
your face.
long range?
Yeah, I mean out there, like with somebody directly in your
30
face,
feet.
falling away, like
Jeez.
contested, like literally his shot against France. That
I think it's a contested corner three.
Corner three.
I think
that's a good one.
I think that is extremely hard. I mean, because everything can be. I mean, I feel like in basketball, it's a team sport, but at the same time, it's a one-on-one when you have the
Yeah.
ball. So I mean, it's definitely harder for which guy, right? I mean, there's certain guys that suck at dribbling. Shaq sucks at free throws. I mean, he's a paid NBA athlete and he can't make a wide open shot. It's your job. But
From 10 feet away, though, man. It's hard.
is that how far
It's
free throws?
ants.
It's only 10 feet.
Let's look it up.
This is the second time that 10 has
thought
been
it
my
was 15.
number, and I thought it was. I think it's 10. I think if you lay the goal down, it hits the free throw
again,
line.
think about a 10-foot putt in golf. It's got to be longer than that.
Yeah,
15 feet.
15 feet. Bam, two. Let's go.
Yeah, I am 0 for 2 right
All
now.
right.
Well, I mean, when Shaq can grab the ball like this and hold it with his pinky and his thumb, I mean, like the amount of like shooting, like
Yeah.
that makes it so much harder.
I really don't think it does. I mean, it's his job.
He should.
It is his job. He's getting paid millions
And I'm
of
sure
dollars.
he practiced a bunch and like.
And he still sucks at it.
He should
I mean,
have
he
adopted
played
the
for what,
grandma
20
shot.
years? He's got a complete rainbow of NBA teams he's played on.
Let's
so many
look
teams.
up what his final percentage was.
Let's guess.
Oh,
that comment went under the wind. Okay.
42%.
Yeah, we're not acknowledging her.
Oh, okay.
42%? Okay,
40.
I'm going to go like 61%. Connor?
His free throw?
Yeah.
We'll say around 50 on his career.
52.7.
Yeah.
Oh,
52.7.
That's higher
He
than I
made
thought it
nearly
was.
half the free throws he took in his career.
But like that's terrible, man. Like it's
Yeah,
his
yeah, it's really
job.
bad.
Now,
It
what
is
was
his
Steve
job.
Nash's? Steve Nash?
93%?
86.
93, I'm pretty sure.
91.
90.4.
91.
There it is. Yeah, right at 90. Dang.
Let's see if we can guess every team Shaq played for real quick. Quick. Look up every team he played for. So let's go. Phoenix, Celtics, Miami, Lakers, Orlando, Cleveland. How many teams did he play on? 7?
6.
No,
Oh,
you
I
all
got
of them.
6.
Wow.
Man. All right.
All right,
He's
good
like
segment,
that.
boys.
That was
All right,
quick.
moving on.
Easier than I thought. All right.
Track
Next
and field.
sport. Track and field. Stad, back to you first.
Shot put.
Shot put. Any,
respect
elaborate? Or is that it?
I just think there's so much like the little circle you got to throw it in,
Stay
and like,
in the
and
circle.
you can't, you can't leave the circle, and like
Yeah.
it's such a dense ball, and you're throwing it.
Is
from,
that
like,
what
it's
noise
just-
you would make if you did shot put? Skip?
Dude, if I was
You
some
got-
jack here. Yeah. All right. Bennett, deal me with track.
Pole vaulting. It's the most.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one.
Like overall, I think most difficult because you got to be able to run fast, be able to
Stick a pole in the ground and bounce off.
Exactly.
Of it. It's pretty difficult.
It's extremely dangerous too.
It is very dangerous.
I have that one as well, but I also think like track and field as like a field as a sport. I think if an athlete can do more than one thing, then that makes it harder. So I think a decathlon is the hardest thing to do in track and field.
I would have to agree. And just for the sake of it, if I had to disagree and have a unique point, I would say hurdling. I think it's incredibly, like, their upper half, it does not move. Like, when you slow it down, it does not move. It's all like, it shows you how much mobility they have. And
right.
I think that's incredibly hard to do super fast at an Olympic level. But yeah, I agree with you, Connor, on decathlon. Softball. Do we want me to go first?
Go ahead.
All right. Softball, I would say hitting a rise ball. You know, it can start like mid-thigh and go to about mid-chest, and I think that is...
And it's still a strike, right?
Yeah, and your swing, like, right, even in softball, I mean, baseball is way different because you're matching up a different plane, and softball's coming from a different angle, but it's still so hard to match that plane to hit a rise ball good. I mean, your hands have to be above it, so I think that it's incredibly hard.
So your hands have to be above the rise ball to hit it in the air. What if you rolled over? Can you roll over on a rise ball?
Right, but to hit a rise ball good, not even to hit it in the air, but to hit a rise ball hard, your hands have to travel above it. Like, your hands have to stay probably at your letters in order to hit a rise ball. It doesn't mean you're going to hit a fly ball or a home run, but
Just
it could
to hit it.
Yeah, or to hit it
Make
hard. Hit it
okay.
hard. I mean, yeah, I could take a bad swing and chop it or roll over it or cut it and pop it up, but if you want to hit a rise ball good, I think it's the hardest thing to do in softball.
I think based out of like just how small the field is and how dangerous playing third base is, I think playing third base
100%.
is possibly one in the hardest things to
Hot
do in
cola.
softball
100%. That's a great point.
because like
Moss
you're
could
getting
attest to that.
rocked at.
Did you
if
play
a ball-
third base?
In high school and in travel ball a little bit, mainly catcher. But Bennett, what's the hardest thing to
I
do
gotta
softball?
agree with you on the riser. Yeah, I don't know a lot about softball, but
Right.
what
What's
I
the
do is
pitching arsenal? You got rise ball. You can
Yeah, rise
throw
ball,
it
curveball, screwball, fastball.
So they can spin it both ways.
Uh-huh.
That's God. That's. Do you see a lot of elbow injuries?
I mean, sometimes
Not nearly as much as baseball.
Yeah,
Right,
not
right.
a lot, but I mean, it does happen. I mean, Mary Moss had several teammates. The really good pitcher I mentioned earlier, she had like a couple like her elbow would swell up every once in a while, but I mean, it was not popular.
which one was injured more, the shoulder or the elbow? Do you know?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of just depends on the girl.
Okay.
Depends on
Okay.
what works for them. Stad.
I'm in between a catcher throwing out somebody at second base because
Yeah.
the bases are so short. Like the transition, like you've got gear on.
You don't
like-
have a lot of time.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of time.
But there's no lead off.
No,
So
there's
when
there's no
can a
lead.
softball player leave?
When it releases from their hand, when the
Okay.
when the ball releases from the
But
pitcher's
still,
hand.
those bases are so
very
close
small.
together. Like I
Yep.
still think I you know what? I'm going with that. Throwing somebody out at second base.
Yeah, pretty tough.
Ask Moss about it one time. She can
Yeah.
tell you how to do it. But it is hard.
Imagine we all went to the diamond and tried to throw people out.
We're all just getting our softball pop times.
Yeah.
All right, volleyball. Interesting sport for us to
Love
talk
the
about.
sport.
It's
I
a
love the
great sport. I love playing beach volleyball. I think watching volleyball is fun. But I'll take it to Bennett.
Blocking a spike. Hitting a spike is very hard, obviously, but the amount of power behind it and to be able to guess where it's going, I think is extremely hard.
Agree.
I think it varies in men's and women's basketball. Also, if you're going to go beach or
We're
indoor.
talking
Basketball?
about volleyball.
Wow. Men's or women's volleyball. And it
time.
also varies between sand or indoors. Because indoors, you have more people in a condensed space. But on sand, it's just 2v2.
Well, let's say for these purposes, we're just doing indoor. 'Cause
Okay.
That's the context I was going from.
Yeah. sure.
Right.
Yeah.
From indoor, you have solid. I think it's I don't know. I'm still thinking, I guess.
Okay,
I
we'll give
can
you a
go
second.
mine's very similar to Bennett. It's just mine would be digging a spike, not
That's-
blocking it.
that's
but
what
like,
mine is.
but like digging a spike and having it stay on your side and it function as a pass. Like
Yeah.
that, in my opinion, is the hardest thing to do in volleyball because it's coming so hard with like top spin or side
Yeah.
spin. Like, dude, digging a spike.
I think okay, yeah. So the other type of slam would be the serve, and watching like college level, pro level serves, they're not as hard to dig. But watching some of these like volleyball with social media, it's grown a lot. A lot of the sport has. You have people who follow specific like college volleyball, and men's college volleyball isn't as popular. There's very few teams, but like from the clips I've seen of like some of these California schools, the guys hitting serves. I mean, they're crushing the ball and it's moving 4 to 5 feet in the air in a curve. And like, that's just crazy to get down and dig that when it's coming 60, 70 miles an hour at you.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. And for them to also jump 2 feet off the ground and hit it and time it, like, because that toss is way up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just so regimented and like, it's just crazy.
I agree. All right. So that's take us into our final question. What is the hardest overall thing to do in sports, but what is the hardest sport in the world?
You want me to lead off?
I will take it to the big time opinion that we always have. Connor Gould. What is
Well, I want to ask a clarifying question because, like,
Sure.
what is the hardest sport to learn? What is the hardest sport to play? What is the hardest sport to go pro in? Or is it just
Overall.
what is the
Overall.
hardest
what
sport?
is the hardest
ever?
sport?
All of that wrapped into one gift basket.
Like a chicken
Beautiful.
bacon
Okay.
ranch sandwich.
Then I'm going to say mixed martial arts.
Okay.
Interesting.
Take it, Bennett.
Water polo.
Take it, Stead.
Wow. I'm in between two. I'm going to say hockey,
What was your other one?
baseball.
Okay, mine was UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like boxing is up there, but I think adding the component of like you can scrap with somebody, you don't just have to stay on your feet and hit them. Like I
Yeah.
think that like the
You
amount
ever
of
seen a
grappling,
water polo
ninjutsu.
person's legs?
yes, but that doesn't make it the
Have you ever seen Tom Aspinall's legs? Like, what?
You ever stared at the quads of a Croatian water polo player? That's what Bennett does in his free time.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Yeah.
Wild.
Hot day. Hot comment from Bennett right there. But yeah, I think it's UFC.
Do you really think water polo is the hardest sport in the world?
Yes.
Why?
It just because the amount of physical strength that goes into actually playing that for as like the amount of time you have to play it.
What? Yeah.
Gib has a problem.
We got to talk about how much physicality it takes to play water polo for how long. Try fighting a guy that's trying to kill you for 5 rounds. What are we talking about? Like if you want to argue some other point,
Are you
I'll give it
doubting
to you.
how serious these water polo
compared to
players take the
UFC?
game?
100%.
I mean, yes.
Compared to UFC, 100%.
I cannot play water polo and I would die in that
Yeah,
pool. I would
exactly.
drown.
See?
But
Oh my God! If he fought Conor McGregor, he'd die. And he's been retired for 6 years.
I also agree with that take. I'd get lit up by Conor McGregor, and I mean, what is his fighting weight? 140?
It changes. He's
Yeah,
won
it
in 2
changes.
different
Right,
divisions.
but like I weigh exponentially more than Conor McGregor, and he'd lay me out.
Conor McGregor walks around at 200, which is bigger than you.
Okay, there you go. Sure.
But if we do this, like, I think if we take a professional water polo game and we put Connor in it, I think he lasts longer than if you. How much do you weigh, Connor?
I disagree. I could run around fast enough.
Hold on.
I weigh
How much do you
180
weigh?
pounds.
180 pounds. So you're most likely going to fight like Islam Makhachev. If you want to pull
Whoa.
up a mixtape and you think you
Whoa.
can last longer than you can against him versus a water polo game, go ahead. Because a water polo pool is a lot bigger than an octagon.
But I can't swim that fast. But
well, they're not attacking you.
right,
You
but
would just
okay,
avoid
but
the
it's
ball.
a team sport. It's a team sport. So why would I even play?
Why? What do you mean? Why would you play?
Like we're saying, we put me in, but then why don't they just sub me out? Because clearly I'm not good. And in an MMA fight,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I feel
if we
like that's
throw
a
that
moot,
in there,
that's a
but
moot point.
yeah, yeah.
fine.
Like
Okay,
if
I
you
was just trying to
play the sport, I'm saying you would last longer in a water polo game. Yeah, we could take you out of the octagon because you're not a qualified fighter to fight a UFC champion. We could say that too. But
All right,
like,
let's go to Stad. Why is hockey the hardest sport?
This is probably skewed because of my own lack of ability, but like I think just skating on ice is incredibly hard, and then having to maneuver on ice skates like you did, like you're absorbing hits, like it's physical. You're getting whacked by a wooden stick while trying to skate, while trying to stay on balance, while trying to score. That's just, I think there's so much
We
to
took
it.
we took lacrosse off this list, but my reason for lacrosse was going to be that defending in women's lacrosse is one of the hardest things to do because you can't come down with your stick.
What? Why not?
In men's lacrosse, attacking is so hard because they have 6-foot poles and they're just beating the living mess out of you. But in women's, you can like if you're running with somebody, they can ride alongside you and just push their pole into your arm. So and they don't wear pads in women's lacrosse. So you're just having a metal stick just pushed as hard as it possibly can be into your arm for the entire game. That's no fun. So like if you slash somebody, if you go to check somebody, like in hockey, if you went to check, women's lacrosse, you can't check down. You can poke and you can push. But you
Women's
can't check.
lacrosse is like a completely different sport than men's lacrosse.
Yeah,
There are
yes.
so many more rules in women's lacrosse than there
But
are.
it's
I
so
didn't know that.
it's
I
so
didn't know that.
fascinating and like
such a
the
physical game.
Yeah,
It has
both
to have
both
different-
both
Sure.
are so physical. But yeah, men's lacrosse playing attacking is just brutal. That's the reason I quit playing. I was like, I don't want to get hit that many times.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Hockey's probably second on my list.
Yeah.
Dan water polo or
No.
Bennett's had some zingers, dude. He has some good jokes.
Some one.
Come on, Bennett.
No, I didn't even consider fighting sports and combat sports in my list. So I would second that and say that would be my second.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a specific type of fighting that's more harder than the other? Because like we got like if
Like
you're on
boxing,
like
kick-
karate,
like
boxing,
kickboxing, karate,
What
kung fu,
what takes place in the octagon is the hardest thing to do in the world.
because anybody can do anything, right?
and what?
You can have any
is that
style?
anything?
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, like with the Islam Makhachev and Chimaev or whatever his name is, and Khabib, right? Those guys train in Dagestan, and they learn a different type of wrestling. And then you have like Oliveira, who I'm pretty sure does Tenjitsu. I think.
You can
I'm
look it
not
up.
the
You have
one
a
to look at
computer.
for this.
No cap. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know if you can fight in any style because like jujitsu is all about scrapping on the ground, and so
Okay,
it's like getting your opponent on the ground. But if your opponent's just fast, he's just going to stay on his feet and run around the
So
octagon.
yeah, his is
and-
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Sorry.
okay.
But yeah, when you and he's also very good at Muay Thai. So, I mean, I just think that's incredibly hard. And you're right, you can do whatever you want, So, I mean, Khabib's whole goal was to submit guys, get them on the ground. And then you have guys like Sean O'Malley who are big time strikers,
Right,
like
just
the
wanna knock
punch.
'em out.
So, I mean, I think there's just such a larger range, and you have to be able to like in order to win a fight, you have to be able to use your game to dominate, right?
Right.
And so I think like when guys lose fights, it's because they're not able to do like when Sean O'Malley lost his belt to Mayrab, like he didn't have as many strikes as he did when he first beat him. Like I think as soon as you get to a point in UFC where you can't defend your game and you're in the other guy's like world and what he does and what he wants, like Oliveira wants to get you to the ground. He wants to be on his back. He wants to get you there. But if you do that, then you're most likely gonna lose.
Big
So-
game of chess.
yeah, I mean, I think and you have to think the whole time through this thing. And you could get knocked out, keep getting punched, and then, I mean, if they don't stop it, you could keep going. Like,
That's
Yeah.
true.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I think there's such a difference between that and boxing, right?
Well, I also
Boxing, if you knock him out, like it's over.
I think needs to be a clear line from what's the hardest and what's the most dangerous, because MMA is also the most dangerous. I think it's probably the hardest to be good at, and it's so seldom do people become so good at it because it is extremely dangerous to do.
I think it's incredibly hard to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for next time, we did not bring up tennis in this hardest sport, and I won't start now because you could see what we got riled up about pickleball. But
I mean, you didn't have it on your list. Where is it on your list?
second,
Second? Where's it on your list?
behind
Probably
water
se-
polo.
Yeah, I think water polo. I think water polo is really hard.
Do you think tennis is harder than UFC?
No shot.
no way, dude.
probably not. I would interchange them. Interchange them probably. So second and third, tied for second. How about that? We'll go with that.
That's terrible. I mean, that's terrible.
I
Fighting
think-
for your life in tennis.
It's
Okay.
still a chess match. We did compare UFC
If you
to
can't tell.
chess, and I think tennis is a chess match. Thank you for joining us for our second episode. Let us know if you agree on our takes, and we appreciate you. And don't forget, get to class on time.